So what does it look like to work with me? I've been asked this many times, and I found the best way is to just explain it here. So, in working with me, I am a business coach and advisor. And those of us that have grown up in the sporting world, coaching in this frame does not mean the same as we're used to. In used to, we're actually coaching is more like advising. I'm gonna show you how to do things, or I'm gonna teach you things. I'm gonna give you insights. I'm gonna let you do. I'm gonna guide you in that way to do that. That is more advising, and that's what I do as well. From a business standpoint, I might say, hey, look at your financials over here. I might say, hey, I did an analytics over here. I think this is something you need to work on. Hey, what do you want to try in this? This might be a tip for that, right? Things to look out for. So that's advising in this world. Coaching is purely Socratic. Coaching is, what do you want to do? How do you want to get there? What are you going to utilize that you have for tools to get there? What are the things that you think are in your way, right? It's really allowing you to find the answers pulled out of yourself. So it's two different, very important and powerful tools. And I kind of transition in between the both of them. When I'm doing something coaching and I say, you know what, I think there might be something that will really support some clarity and giving some advising, I'll say, hey, would you like some advice here? Or would you like some advising? Would you like some insight there? And you might say yes, and then I would give it to you. So it's identified as both. On the coaching side, you are the answer, and I'm really just helping you get the clarity into what it is going. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted, and then we both did it. So there's coaching and there's advising. When I work with a client, I work with clients typically at the owner level and then the executive level, and that's typically the two areas that I focus on. Sometimes people ask me, who do you serve? Like, who is your ultimate client? And my ultimate client is business owners, because I speak from a business owner perspective, and I've been there and I experience my heart aches with you, and I have joy with you, the new client, the new account. I get excited. I get hurt with the employee that turns on us, that does. I've been there. And so that's who I connect with. But when it really comes to how I serve this really amazing confluence of great business owners and business owners who realize that there's something more. Now, unfortunately, a lot of my clients come to me from a place of pain. They've been physically hurt, either physical, heart ailments. I've had conditions where they've seen that their lifestyle that they've lived, being a business owner, is not conducive to a long lifestyle, and they know that they need to make some changes. The other side, unfortunately, from the pain side, is a lot of times in relationships. That can either be with loved ones outside the business, or that can be the relationships that they have within the business. And that has created them to become exhausted and feeling like they're the only ones that are doing the lifting. And it's very frustrating. And so a lot of that, and that last one is, as those relationships show up in the business, it can hurt both your physical as well as the relationship stuff. And so clients that know that I need to take better care of myself and better care of my business, better care of everything, and there's something better out there, are the ones who reach out to me, and that we create a investment into their way of doing it to make it better. When we look at working together, it starts with a understanding of what your needs are, right? And then what your desires and where you want to go with it. So I have a survey and an assessment tool that really understands, what do you see is working really well in your business, and what are some areas that you really would like to see yourself work on. And then there's actually, I have a survey that will actually assess out and kind of grade you and score you out and say, here's the areas that, based on your responses, also says that you could use some improvement, or you're doing really, really well. When we go to engage, what it looks like, I have this try before you buy type of layout. And so once we do the assessment, we say, okay, here's what it kind of says we're going to do. We go through an example of what a coaching session would look like. And in the example of that coaching session, or in that trial run, if you say, it gives you an idea to understand, this is how I pull things out, and this is how I kind of support you. This is how I kind of direct, and so and you get to decide, is this the way that I really want to? Am I going, yeah, this is exactly what it is? And I typically like to drive us to one of two ends. I really want us to be at a hell yes, let's do this, or a hell no, that's not what I want. And I will support you in getting to a hell no, if you're stuck in this middle, or a hell yes. And typically in the stuck in the middle area, that's not where you want to be. You want to be like, I guess I'll try it. We got to either clarify what it is that pushes you either towards a hell yes or towards a hell no, and then you get to decide and carry on from there. So that's what the engagement part of working with me looks like. As far as ongoing, there is a couple different segments that working together looks like. So I have first on the one-on-one standpoint, there is the coaching, right? There's a weekly meeting in which we would connect and we coach and we talk about coaching and help you get clarity on what it is, what's in your way, what do you need to do, what do you really want out of this, and we go through a coaching session each week. There's also an advising / consulting set portion of it that I help support in the creation of analytical models. I support in even reviewing financials, in creating strategies, in all of those areas that support the business wherever you feel that you might need some additional help and support. So I create support in both of those layers as going forward. In addition, I have something called the alignment method, which encapsulates all of this. But what it does is it helps create a structure for you and your company to act in alignment with your values. So your actions are always supporting your values. So your decisions are made through the lens of that value. Now, this is not for everyone. They're maybe not at that stage. They may just be at the coaching and consulting stage where they're saying, hey, this is what I only need solved right now. And then sometimes we've expanded into where we do that for the rest of the company. Or sometimes we start with that in mind. And so that's part of the exploratory process. Is we just say, hey, what best serves you? Because for me, I am merely the conduit that serves in the way that is directed. And so as I ask these questions and I have a kind of a survey and interview, I'll be able to find out how I can best serve you. So what specifically is my role? What specifically are my deliverables? So my role is to act as a catalyst for you in defining exactly what it is that you need and want. There's two things, and they're both important, that you need and you want to help you find peace and freedom, right? On top of that, I'm also supporting you in finding out what it is to do the same thing for the rest of your business, the rest of your people. From a deliverable standpoint, one of the main deliverables is the ability for you to have that internal mental roadmap, to have that clarity. That's a support that I have for a deliverable. The other thing we have is as we go through the process, we'll define out deliverables where maybe there's some support you need from financial analytics. Maybe there's something from a strategic standpoint. Maybe there's something where from a research and resource standpoint, or even relationships, helping you build relationships with other really key components and networking. So those are some of the things that I deliver there. And what we're really looking to deliver is I'm supporting you in the creation that you are making. My role in that is, as I said, as a catalyst to help you really take off and reach your epitome. So that's what it's like to work with me. Most everything is done week to week via Zoom. It's not, or phone, whatever is more convenient. We jump on, we get the stuff done. We set action plans of what you want to kind of reframing your idea, what your goals are walking from this. If there's any commitments or deliverables we need on from my side, we put them together and we move on to the next week and get back to work, right? So working in our business versus working on our business, which is what this is. So that is what it looks like to work with me. And then as we go forward, this thing will shift and different projects will show up and different accomplishments, and we go from there. So if you have any questions, I think there's a lot that can come up and say, okay, what are the specifics? And there's a lot of different areas this can go. So jumping on a call is the best way to understand, okay, hey, here's what I want to do. And sometimes you might say, hey, I know I want to improve things. And part of our interview process, that's part of my coaching process, is to help you and support you in narrowing down what is it you really want. And it's me listening from an outside perspective. And that's one of the things. I've been in the inside perspective, and I ran businesses, I've owned businesses, I understand that perspective. And now I get to sit out without the stress of the day and ask questions from an outside perspective, saying, hey, I've been in this space before. Is this showing up for you? Does this hurt? Poking here, does this hurt? Is this something that you want to work on? And that's how I support my clients in really helping them create the future that they want. And it's the reason I call the business Epitome. Epitome means the peak of. And I'm really helping and supporting you to find the peak of what you want to create in your personal and business life. So if what you're hearing here sounds like you or sounds like something you want, I ask that you go to callwithbrad.com. We will do a Zoom interview and we'll start the conversation there. Where it goes from there is up to you. You are in the driver's seat of saying, hey, I want to explore this or I don't want to explore this. And as we go through the process, as the try before you buy experience, there's no cost to that. It really gets us both the opportunity to feel comfortable with each other and say, yep, we want to do this project together. We're both committed to making this work. And that's the process I have. It's low pressure because pressure doesn't help in making these decisions. We need to make informed decisions with good information. And that's how we do it. If we can both help each other, what a beautiful thing. That's what it's all about, right? So go to callwithbrad.com and I'll help you even more.